What's up, guys? Sorry for being late. We really had to do something, and we had to leave home, and we just came home just right now. Anyway, this is for these are for the games on January 6th game day for the NBA. Is it January 6th? Is it January 6th game day? I have only uploaded one video earlier. That's Washington versus Philadelphia 76ers. So for now, we'll be discussing Indiana Pacers versus Houston Rockets. Um, as always, we discuss the standings first. For Indiana Pacers, they're on the number 3 spot of Eastern Conference with 5 wins and 2 losses. While for Houston Rockets, they're at 2 wins and 3 losses. They're ranked number 12 at the West. So, totally different stories between these two. Indiana Pacers doing very well at number 3 in the East, while Western Conference is having Houston Rockets as number 12. They're having a hard time adjusting with one another. Okay, so for me, let's discuss Indiana Pacers first. Indiana Pacers is actually doing well, as what I said. 5 wins and 2 losses. They're currently number 3 in the East. But I went ahead and checked on the wins of Indiana Pacers. We really can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're doing well. Indiana Pacers is actually one of those most disciplined teams in the NBA. They stick to the plan. They stick to their defense. They don't get. They don't panic. Whatever their plan is, they stick to it. If ever there are changes that need to be made, they call a timeout. Stuff like those. Even though the opponent is actually leading double digits already, they don't get panic. They don't fire those 3-point shots right away. They stick to the plan, and that's what's good about Indiana Pacers lately. But I went ahead and checked on the wins of Indiana Pacers. I actually noticed that those 5 wins of Indiana Pacers, they actually came from, I have to be honest, not so strong teams. If we take a look, their first win was against Chicago Bulls, was it? They have a win against Chicago Bulls. They have a win against the Knicks. They have a 1-point win against Boston. They have a win against Cleveland Cavaliers. And the latest win that they have was against New Orleans Pelicans via that 2-point win. So if we take a look at those 5 wins, again, they defeated New York, they defeated Boston, they defeated Cleveland, they defeated the Pelicans. The only team that made it to the playoffs last season on those teams that they defeated was Boston. And their win was just a 1-point win. And they had a game against Boston the other day. They lost to Boston Celtics. And again, in one of their losses, they even lost to New York Knicks. My New York Knicks, a young New York Knicks. So what I'm trying to say is this. Let us not get too excited with how good the standings of Indiana Pacers is. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not doing good. They are doing good. It's just that they haven't really tested themselves yet. Going through stronger teams like this, Houston Rockets. If you can see, they almost lost to New Orleans Pelicans. Actually, they should have lost that one if not for New Orleans. If not for New Orleans sloppy play towards the end of that regulation. But anyway, again, this is the test. This is the start of the test for the Pacers, because I also checked on their schedule. They will now go through a challenging schedule. For example, they would go against Houston Rockets. After this, they would go against Phoenix Suns, then Sacramento, then Golden State, and Portland. Now let's see, and we will see how good really Indiana Pacers is after these games. All right. Now for the Houston Rockets, you guys might be wondering, why did I include Houston Rockets in the list of those good teams, even though they are just at 2 wins and 3 losses, man. Because tell you the truth, even though their standings is only at that, and they only have 2 wins so far, they are still good. They have one of those most talented teams in the NBA, considering the fact that they have James Harden, they have DeMarcus Cousins, they have Eric Gordon, they have John Wall, they have Christian Wood, man. So they just need some time to figure each other out on how to play with one another, and for sure, Houston Rockets will be relevant, and Houston Rockets will be included in the top 8 of the West. That's my, that's how I look into it. I know James Harden has expressed his desire to leave the team, but he's still here, so he would still be playing, and he didn't have a good game against Dallas Mavericks. So I'm also expecting him to bounce back tonight against Indiana Pacers. That's how stars normally do. Whenever they come off from a very bad performance, the next game or the next day, man, watch out. For sure, he or she would actually show what he or she could do. That's how stars are, regardless of the sport that we're talking about. So there, it's just that again, the only question mark here for Houston is, can they now play along one another? Because again, this is just gonna be like the fourth time that this team would be together in the season, in the regular season game. So yeah, it's gonna be very hard. Two guards, two superstars. They can't mesh along still, at least. All right, so we would take a look as to how they would adjust with one another. Hopefully, they could adjust with one another, and we will see. Another interesting thing to check out would be the match between Turner and Christian Wood. Both players are good defenders, good shot blockers, man. It's like they would be canceling each other out. So we will see. For me, the key factor here would be how good James Harden would be. Again, as I mentioned earlier, he messed up against the Dallas Mavericks last time, and they lost. So for sure, Christian Wood and Turner, they would be canceling each other out. Tucker and Sabonis, Tucker can actually put his body on Sabonis. He couldn't really stop Sabonis, but he knows how to defend, of course. And of course, John Wall would be there. Oladipo would be Indiana Pacers. So the question is, how good would James Harden be? For me, if James Harden would actually explode, or if James Harden could actually be the James Harden that he really is, then I'm sure this one should be a win for Houston Rockets. Indiana Pacers may have some edge in terms of the fact that this would be held in Indiana, but checking on the spread, let me see. That's actually a +2 on Houston, -2 Indiana. So yeah, it's actually expected that Indiana will win this game, but I'm gonna pick Houston +2 on this. Again, there are still a lot of questions as to how Houston would play along with each other, but again, this might be the start of the test for Indiana Pacers against these talented teams, and who knows, maybe John Wall and James Harden can start figuring things out as to how they could mesh in the court, and maybe Indiana could also miss TJ Warren's services. Well, he won't be playing. What I'm saying is maybe TJ Warren's absence would be felt, especially Houston is one of those talented teams. All right, so that's my final suggestion. It's Houston Rockets +2, everyone. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Just click on the subscribe button, include the bell button right there. Also, we have a Facebook account. Just follow and like that page, so that way you can gain access to my Messenger account. We have a button there in our YouTube channel. Just click on message me, and it will bring you to our Facebook page. Okay? Take care out there. Enjoy the rest of the day. Peace out. Pasay love and God bless.